Hello everyone, and welcome back to Vampire 218 explains how to make a character in Mutants and Masterminds / a Hero Lab tutorial. And in this episode, we are actually going to be building a character now that we've gone over all of the basics. We are going to start with my method of building a character. This is going to show you how I build characters, and it will hopefully help you build characters as well. Now, the first thing I like to do with a character is come up with a concept. Previous to this, I have already come up with a concept of a Invincible style character. Someone who is very strong, very tough, maybe can fly. Basically, what Mutants and Masterminds calls a paragon. In order to start this build, I know a few things about this. I know I want to be very strong and very tough. Knowing how the math works in this system, I believe I would like to have 12 toughness and 8 in my active defenses. This leads me to go the following. I'm going to put 12 points into stamina, which will cost me 24 points, and 12 points into strength. This will also cost me 24 points. In addition, I am going to choose to put 8 points into fighting. However, I'm going to directly buy my dodge. I'm really focused on getting my defenses to caps. This is a very simple character, and this is to show you how to build a very simple character too. The next defense I want to touch on is obviously will, as 0 is a little too low. Seeing as my fortitude is 12, I would like to make my will 8. So I will increase my will to 8. Looking at my ability scores, I'm pretty happy where the rest of them are for now. I've already spent 80 of my 150 points. However, being that I'm building a paragon, I can use my fighting for accuracy and strength to hit. My stamina is boosting my toughness and fortitude, while fighting's boosting parry. I've directly bought dodge and will, so on a combat aspect, I'm almost ready to go. The next thing I want to address is powers on this build. I know I want to be a very tanky individual, possibly bulletproof. And I believe the best way to represent this would be through impervious defense toughness. As I have 12 toughness, I would like to have 12 impervious defense. This will block damage rank 6 for me. I also believe that I would like to be able to fly and, well, maybe survive in space. So the first thing I would like to address is this flight. I'm going to choose the flight power. Now, I think that this guy can probably fly pretty fast, so I'm going to go ahead and put 10 ranks in flight. This means that at rank 10, I can fly 4 miles around, which is 6 seconds, or 2,000 miles an hour. I also would like to purchase an immunity, I believe. Mainly, the ability to survive in space, but more so over life support immunity, which in this system is as follows. Immunity to disease, poison, all environmental conditions, suffocation, starvation, and thirst. I think this will be a good buy for my character, so I'm going to certainly put that on there. This has 122 points out of 150 spent, leaving me with only 28. However, most of my abilities are done, my powers are done, so while I only have 28 points left, I can spend those on skills, advantages, and equipment. For skills, I'm looking at what could be good for this character. I think he should probably have some sort of insight. Insight's a very good skill for determining if someone is lying. So I would like to put a value of 6 in this. I also think this character probably pretty persuasive, so I will also put a 6 in this. My perception, I also believe, should be very good, hence the 6 in that. This leaves me with 19 power points left. Looking at the rest of these skills, I could take an expertise, but I'm perfectly happy with moving on to advantages for now. Looking at the advantages, I'm going to quickly select a few and be right back while I explain why I've chosen the advantages I have chosen and what they will do for me with this build. And welcome back. Through the magic of editing, I have selected the advantages and, well, used up the rest of the points. I'm going to briefly explain those to you now, why I have chosen them, and then we're going to look at the sheet as a whole. All-out attack I have chosen simply because sometimes a +8 to hit isn't enough, and being able to boost that to a +13 is quite nice. Chokehold goes part with fast grab, improved grab, and improved hold, which means that when I punch someone, I can immediately make a grab attempt on them, and should I want to, I could do a chokehold attempting to suffocate them. Evasion will increase the chances that I can have an area effect. Extraordinary effort I have chosen to take because the idea of taking 2 extra efforts in a turn is something that is very appealing to me on this character. I've chosen Fearless simply because I believe this character doesn't really have any fears. Improved Disarm we've talked about in the skill video, however I have chosen a lot of these combat advantages such as Improved Disarm, Improved Smash, and Improved Trip because being that I have a high fighting, I can make great use of these advantages. Interpose is taken here because I believe this character's main role is going to be to, as tabletop RPG terms would be, to tank or to soak damage. Interpose allows me to do so. Move by action is pretty much required on this sort of build, allowing me to hit someone and keep going. Power attack, once again, 12 is a great value for damage. That means they would be resisting at 27 because damage is 15 plus effect rank. However, that's not always enough. Sometimes you need a little bit of extra push, and a power attack can really put you over the edge. I have also chosen to take both precise cover and concealment because as an effect rank shifted tank, the negatives from cover or concealment can be very detrimental when trying to land hits. I have also chosen Ultimate Effort Toughness just in case I get in an awkward situation where, well, I roll really bad and don't want to go down. Untapped Potential is the last advantage I have chosen on this build simply because the idea of upping one of my powers by 3 for an extra effort is a very appealing thing to me. So, we are now going to be looking at this sheet as a whole, and I will teach you how to read your sheet. And welcome back. We are currently on the print preview of Hero Lab. We are going to look at our sheet. This is what it looks like, and we are going to go through everything. So, abilities, they are pretty standard. I explained those in abilities. You can see those at the top of the screen. You can also see a point breakdown of where you have spent your points above your abilities. So I have spent 64 points in abilities. This is because I have spent 12 points in strength, 12 points in stamina, and 8 points in fighting. If you add these together, it would equal 32, and 32 times 2 is 64. As we scroll down here, we can also see on the right that we have our defenses displayed with a little note that we have Impervious 12 to remind us that we block damage 6 and below with this build. Scrolling further down, this is where our powers are contained, right below the offense. This offense section might be more filled out on another sheet, but on this sheet, we're very simple. We punch things and we hurt them. Our powers, once again, very simple and displayed there. More complex powers might take up more room, but as a simple build, this is what we are looking at. The advantages will come next and are displayed beneath. under which is movement. This will show you how fast you can move in a given round or per hour. We go to the second page and we see that we would have our language here. You choose that in the advantage section of Hero Lab. On the right, we can see our skills. This will show us what we add to the die 20 roll when a skill check is called for. For example, if the game master were to call for an athletics check, I would roll 1d20 plus 12 as my athletics is a value of 12. This is the basics of building a character from the mechanical side. There are more aspects to building a character, however, they will be discussed in a later video. I would like to thank you for tuning into this video of Vampire 218 explains and shows you how to build a character, and I certainly hope that you tune in for future episodes.